Hi, Melanie. Nice to meet you. My name is Ray.
Nice to meet you.
And I'm just going to sit down and ask you a few questions. We'll take the next 20 or so minutes. I just want to find out about you and what's going on with you, things like that. Before we get too far, I do want to go over some limits of confidentiality. There are some things that if I'm required to, I won't be able to maintain confidentiality. Everything else stays in this room between you and me. But if I think that you're posing a danger to yourself or to others, I'm going to have to report that. Also, if you threaten the life of the president, I have to report that. If I'm subpoenaed for whatever reason, if my notes are subpoenaed, I'll have to give them up. Or if I hear anything about a sexual or physical abuse or neglect of a minor, a vulnerable adult, or an elderly person. Everything else stays between you and me. So just I want you to be comfortable to tell me whatever you feel comfortable telling me. So before we get too far, can I have your full name and date of birth?
Melanie Colby.
And your date of birth?
6/16/75.
75, okay. Can I have your height?
5 foot,
Okay.
1 inch.
5 foot 1 inch, okay. And your weight?
120.
Okay. All right, Melanie. Well, I'll just open it up. Why don't you tell me what brings you in today?
Well, pretty much think there's maybe some depression going on. I pretty much just feel worthless. I hate myself. Most of the time I just feel numb. Like I don't really feel anything at all.
Okay. How long has this been going on? How long have you felt like this?
It's probably been increasing the past few months, like past 3-4 months or so.
Do you know when it started?
I don't know, for the last, probably when I stopped working about 5 years ago, I guess I kind of felt a little less self-worth, I guess. In a sense that I couldn't financially provide for the family, that my husband kind of just took over all the responsibilities. I never thought of myself that I would be like the traditional mom who stays at home with the kids and does all the housework and does everything while the man goes out and makes all the money. I never thought I would be in that type of situation.
Okay. So 5 years ago you lost your job? Or
No, we decided on the agreement that I would quit my job when we started having kids.
Okay.
And I would stay at home with them at least until they were, well, at first the one, until he went to school or was of school age. But then we ended up having 2 more, so.
Okay. So 5 years ago you and your husband decided you wanted to have kids?
Yeah.
And then did you come to a mutual agreement that it would be you who would stay home with the children?
Yeah, it was, I mean, I kind of gave in, I guess. It wasn't necessarily mutual, but I mean, it just kind of, money-wise, it just kind of seemed the better alternative to at least have one parent around, because he is an accountant, an important executive accountant for a corporation, so he works like 10 to 15 hours a day during the week, so we didn't want, and he refused to like cut down his hours or anything, so, and I wasn't going to raise my kids, like having them pretty much be raised by someone else because I wanted to work, so I kind of just made that sacrifice so they would at least have
So 5 years ago, you gave in, you said. How
Mhm.
how did you feel about that at the time?
Well, at first it was okay, because, I mean, it was the first baby. Had no idea what I was doing anyways, so, I mean, it was good, and now I just feel worthless. And, like, I'm not worth anything,
Okay.
pretty much.
So 5 years ago, you quit your job. Did the symptoms, did your feelings of depression, like you said, your worthlessness, did they start then and then they've been escalating ever since?
Yeah, I would say so.
And then in the last 3 to 4 months, they've gotten as bad as they've been?
Yeah.
Was there anything else that happened around that time that would have made you feel worse?
No, not that I can think of. I pretty much, like, I just feel worthless. I just hate myself. And, like, it just seems to just continue to increase to the point where...
No. Well, when you say you hate yourself, elaborate on that for me. What does that mean?
that there's no point in me living, I guess. No, I'm not worth anything. My kids are getting older, so, I mean, they're not going to need me anymore. So, what would be the point of being around?
Okay. How old are your children?
4, 3, and 1. And the 4 and 3-year-old go to preschool. And so typically wake up, get them ready for school. They go to school, husband leaves for work, and then it's me and my 1-year-old all day.
How do you feel about your role as a mother?
I used to think I was a good mother, and now I feel like, since I feel like I'm worthless or I'm depressed, like I have no energy at all, or I feel nothing, so I feel like maybe I'm not taking as good a care of my 1-year-old as I could be or should be.
Okay. So you used to think that you were a good mother, but was it your depression that made you think now that you're not? Or did something happen to make you think that you're not, and that led you to having these depressive feelings?
No, nothing like specifically happened. I mean, like a year ago, 2 years ago, it just seemed like I was so busy because I had 3 kids in the house. And now 2 of them are in school, and it just seems like I have the one, but I don't know.
Well, that must be nice to have to spend some time with that one.
You could say that.
Okay.
Yeah. I notice I don't pay as much attention, I guess, as I could be or should be. Just because I feel like I can't. I have no ability to pay attention. And sometimes I'll just let her, she'll start to be sleeping and wake up crying, and sometimes I just let her cry because, I don't know, worthless anyways, so why get up and...
Okay. Is that different than how you were as a mother with your oldest 2 children?
Yeah, I never used to let them cry. I was one I always, if they cried, I'd be right there, so I'm always playing with them and keeping them occupied.
So how do you feel now, knowing that your youngest cries and you can't get the wherewithal to get up and go to take care of the child? How do you feel about that?
I feel like a really shitty person. It doesn't help. I think that's probably what leads into the fact that I hate myself. It seems like it's just like a cycle or a circle. Like, I'm tired, I have no energy, don't want to get out of bed, so I don't. Daughter's crying. Then I just feel I'm a bad parent. And then I'm worthless. I mean, of course I love my daughter, but then I'm like, if I can't get the energy to get out of bed, maybe I don't love her as much as Dad, or as much as the other two, or...
It's a cycle that just continues.
Mhm.
Okay. So for 5 years, then you've been having these feelings that have been gradually getting worse. Have you seen anybody else about your issues?
No. I mean, when I was in high school, I went and saw a counselor for about a year or so for depression and anxiety symptoms or whatever. But then I went to college and everything seemed fine, I guess.
Did you stop seeing that counselor because you left for college?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I just never...
Had he diagnosed you with anything?
Major depression and anxiety, NOS if I remember, but I don't even know what that means, so.
Okay. So what was it then that after 5 years and the symptoms have been getting worse, well, what is it that brings you into my office today? What I mean is why today? Why not last week or last year?
I guess because I'm scared that one day I'm gonna be done. And loving my kids or having my kids who have been my life for the past 5 years just won't be enough.
When you say you're going to be done, can you tell me what that means? What does that look like?
Lost the will to live, want to die. I mean, I don't know. I don't think I'm like suicidal. Like I really don't think I'd ever be able to actually kill myself or anything, but just need to find something to feel better.
How often do you think about your death?
Started about 3-4 months ago, just sporadic thoughts. Every once in a while. And then now more frequently, it's pretty much every day.
What kind of thoughts?
Just that I don't want to be here. Sometimes I wish I could just go to sleep and not wake up. Or, I don't know. I've never really been much of a drinker or drugs, but maybe, get into that to make myself feel better since nothing else is working right now, so.
Right. Well, that seems pretty tough. All right, well, let me ask you a couple more questions here. You said you're married. How long have you been married?
7 years.
What's your relationship like with your husband?
Lately it seems like there's just no relationship really. I mean, because he works anywhere from 10 to 15 hours a day, depending on the day. Sometimes even if he has a day off, he'll go into work anyway, so I feel like he doesn't even want to spend time with the kids and I anyways. I mean, we sleep in the same bed, but he hasn't touched me, kissed me in like quite a few months now, so I just feel like, I mean, I don't think he's cheating on me. I don't see how he would have time to cheat on me, but maybe he's not working 10 to 15 hours a day. Maybe he's off doing something else, but when he is home, he's a very great father and very attentive to the kids and everything, but
He's just not very attentive to you?
yeah.
How do you feel about that? Do you wish that he was? I mean, do you Do you still have a,
Yes, I mean, I love him. Like, I don't think I could live, I feel like I couldn't live without him. And I don't know what I'd do if I ever lost him, but I don't feel like it's the same. It's a mutual feeling, I guess.
what does he think about the symptoms you're having or the thoughts that you're thinking?
Well, he doesn't know about the thoughts or whatever. I don't think he knows or notices that. He notices, I guess, I'm more quiet and don't talk as much, I guess, with him. But I mean, he doesn't try to initiate conversations either. So.
Okay. Has it always been like that?
No, just the last, probably, since our second kid was born.
The 3-year-old?
Yeah, the 3-year-old. Since he was born, I mean, I don't know if having 2 kids and working got too much for him, or just not interested, or I don't know, it kind of just seemed, things kind of seemed to change, and it was distance, I guess, distance.
Did you talk to him about it at the time?
At the time, yeah. And you just like, no, everything's fine, I'm just busy with work. And I mean, at that point, I mean, it still seemed like we were in love, but we had a struggle. I mean, 2 kids, and
Okay.
but now it just seems like we're kind of just roommates.
Okay. So you guys decided to have kids. You came to an agreement, albeit not one that you necessarily wanted, that you would be the one to stay home. And at that time, you started to get these, I mean, is it fair to say you got these depressive feelings that maybe you had when you were in high school? They kind of resurfaced?
I would agree with that.
Okay, and then over the past 5 years, they've gotten worse, especially in the last 3 to 4 months. Okay. Well, our time is running short, so I do want to continue this next week. One last question that I have for you is, after meeting with me, you know, if you decide to work with me, what will it look like to you if our sessions are beneficial?
I mean, for one, I'll go back to enjoying being a mother, and enjoying being a mother. I mean, obviously, increased self-esteem, I guess. So, I mean, I don't want to die, but I mean, I can't help it. Some days I feel like I'd be better off if I was dead. But I mean, I don't really. I mean, I want to be there for my kids. I want to raise my kids. Be a good mom, and just be able to feel again.
Okay. Well, like I said, I do want to meet with you again. I want to ask you some more questions about high school and the symptoms that you had then, and what that was like. But thank you for coming to meet with me today, and make an appointment on your way out.
All right, sounds good.
Click it.